to listen to the lecture session by Dr. Chaleeda from Chulalongkorn University. So she traveled from her country to impart her knowledge in this summer course session. The topic for this session is about food functionalization. Then this session will be led by our moderator, which also attending this session. She is Kuroto Ayun, PhD. Okay, so let me read the moderator CV for you. Okay, so our moderator for discussion, Dr. Kurotul Ayun, is finished the bachelor degree in food technology and agricultural product Gajah Mada University. Also get master degree in food science and technology Gajah Mada University. She also had a lot of publication. There may be one of the title is probing the improved heat stabilizing capacity of dry heat conjugated whey protein in oil in water emulsion, a microgeological study. And also, she has research project is their optimization strategy to enhance the techno functionality of protein, dry heating and drying conjugation study. And also, she had attending the conference as NISO, 12th NISO Dairy Conference Innovation in Dairy Ingredients at 2021. So don't have to wait any longer. Please welcome Kuraton Ayun PhD. The time is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. You get some more fresh after the coffee break. Yeah. And also the online participant, please give some reaction if you're still joining us or you already joining us. Hi. Some reaction, maybe applause. No? Okay, good. There's one. Okay. So it's an honor for me and also for us to have Dr. Chaleeda here to share her immense knowledge regarding the food functionalization. So in this session, we will have around an hour for the presentation and around 30 minutes for the discussion. And before we are going further, I would like to read the CV of Dr. Chaleeda. Yeah. So Dr. Chaleeda obtained her undergraduate degree until PhD at the University of South Wales, Australia, and her research projects is related to the nutrition's effect of sorry, I couldn't read very clearly. The effect of multi-stage drying to survival rate and activity of bacillus and product development of sea-based fish, tilapia fish, and rice and Blue Gold Coffee in 2016-2017, and also regarding to nutrition, especially in the development of natural preservatives from lime vinegar mix. And in 2016 to 2018, she developed the instant coffee table and syrup. She also have several publications and also awards. I will just not, I couldn't read all, but I just read the first publication is about impact of drying process on chemical composition and key aroma components of Arabica coffee. Oh, interesting. Anyone like coffee here? Yeah, great. So you can go to read the Dr. Chaleeda publication perhaps after this. And also she for the award, she obtained the Young Scientist Award for Excellence in Drying R&D in Asia Pacific region, 6th Asia Pacific Drying Conference in 2009 in Thailand, and also Best Poster Presentation Award at the Agricultural Industry Symposium, and also Best Presentation Award at the Postgraduate Seminar, University of New South Wales, Sydney, Australia. So without any further ado, I would like to give the time to Dr. Chaleeda. Please, the time is yours.
Thank you for very nice introductions of myself. And then, well, good morning, everyone. And then good morning, all that's online as well. I actually been to this summer school. I think this is my not sure the second or the third time, but it's the first time that I'm on site to do GM. But I have been to do GM many times in the past. Just at the break during the COVID-19 pandemics that I couldn't make it here. The last trip that I came to Jogja, I think back maybe about 3 to 4 years. That time the airport is still the old one in the city, but now here they have a new airport. I think if you come via the plane, you might experience the new airport already, and then it's a little bit far from the city, but it's a new things that I discover on this trip as I away from Jogja for a while. Well, we're very glad to see, different facets from different countries in the world, from like Asia, from Europe, and also from Pacific as well. When you are here on site, exciting for those people who come far away, and of course online because of the technology is no limited now. So therefore, we can access to anywhere, any times in the world. And I see some faces from Thailand. สวัสดีค่ะ So I'm not sure you will come from the same university or different university in Thailand. PSU, okay, Prince of Songkla University. All of you, four of you, or okay, right. So you are undergraduate. Okay, right. So you work with supervisor. So you fourth year students or third to fourth year, because now they should be in session already in Thailand, yeah. Third year, okay. So well, right. Then I think we have not much times. We have about 1.5 hour. I try to wrap up everything in maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes, and then would like to 1 hour 15 minutes is the maximum. If I can finish within 1 hour, so we have about 30 minutes for discussions. Well, I would love to hear your questions and then some of your thoughts on functional food or food functionalizations. Today, I'm going to give you some overview of functional food function, the trends and the market, and then give you some of the example of the way forward. Because when we're talking about functional food, we try to make the claim of that functional property of that particular food products, that it would help some things reduce the risk of some disease, especially the non-communicable disease, and may have other effects to the function of the body. So that is the claim that have to be proved and need to have a kind of documentation or research results or paper publications to be the a kind of evidence that it could help. So that not just only you formulate the food, you make the product, that's it, but it have something beyond that to make it be able to claim as functional food. So we will go through that some example, some of my research that I work on in Thailand. But before going to the details of food, I just a little bit introduce my university, because some of you in Thailand may be known about that already. And myself, I don't need to explain because the moderator already give you some introductions already. Actually, my research, although I expert in food processing and engineering, especially in drying process, microencapsulations, but that process supporting the research on creating or development of functional food or food functions. Well, later on, I introduced you the concept of food function. I think this is also important for the food processing and food industry to be able to apply that idea to help facilitate stabilization of food, especially the shelf life and the uniformity when you make a new product, when you want to re-engineer food from the ingredient instead of have its well, raw material itself already made it for you. So this is where I work in Thailand. So we are in Bangkok. Well, Chulalongkorn University is the right in the heart of Bangkok, and that is our building. And this is the university, which is the oldest university in Thailand because it's the first that has been established during the era of the King Rama V and Rama VI. So it's now about 107 years old. And that picture show you the time that during we have the graduation ceremony. And you can still see old building heritage building in Chula when you go to Thailand. And in Faculty of Science is among the first faculty that established during the time that university established as well. That's why it also have the age the same as the university, so more than 100 years as well. In our faculty, you also have seen, if you go there, you would see the old architects style building when it's established too. So food tech is one of 14 departments. So we have 14 departments in under the Faculty of Science and established in 1964. So it's about 50 years ago that we have food tech. So we offer about 4 curriculums from bachelor degree until PhD. And in bachelor, there are 2 branches to program food techs and biotechs. But master, we have master in food tech and international program. If anyone interested to apply. So international program is in food science and technology. And when we do have the dual degree or double degree with Italy, University of Dermo. So that does mean students who enter this program, they are in Thailand for first year, and the second year they're going to University of Dermo. And at the end, when they graduate, they obtain 2 degrees. So one from University of Dermo and then one from Chulalongkorn University. And PhD is bilingual program. And then our course, especially international course, we are get accredited from European quality assurance in food science and technology. So we ensure that our standards of the curriculums is the same as European standard. So you can be confident in our program. And we have a facility to support the research to commercializations. What does it mean? So we have our main lab and main facility in Bangkok, which is more like a lab scale. But we also have the pilot scale in another province, which is about 90 kilometers away. But it's a big factory that can accommodate, scale up from lab to the pilot before launch to the market or to the industrial scale, which is very important. Because if you go from laboratory to the industry, if you don't have the pilot scale up, usually it's a high risk for the industry to take that research to commercializations. And we have food research and testing lab for testing all these properties for the researchers or for the industry to apply for kind of like specifications for the FDA number and then exports to other countries. So this is the research facilities that we support in food science and technologies area from research to commercializations. Okay, when we're talking about food functionalizations, there is many terms that come up nowadays that we need to understand what does it mean. And then sometime when we create a new food product that never have that kind of properties before, or never have that kind of ingredients that had been proved it, that have some beneficial properties to the body, especially in the functional properties. So the organizations characterize that to be novel food. So this is I just get it from EU that for the novel food is defined as the food that has not been consumed to any significant degree in EU before May 1997. It could refer to newly developed food or food produced using new technology or process that been new developed in later the years, or any food traditional eaten outside the EU, for example, insect proteins. For us, we may be used to in the Asia or Southeast Asia, but in Europe, perhaps not. Similarly, vice versa, if we have some ingredients that you never eat before in our region in Asia, but imported from America or EU, but it have a great properties like chia or chia seed, I think you know chia seed, and then also some from South Africa, some ingredient that may be very high or superfood high in antioxidants and could have a property that can maintain or reduce the risk of some NCD disease. So that could be introduced in our system and then could be claimed as novel or new when you incorporate it to the food products. So novel food often come with functional food. So food with function here, I like to open your eyes a little bit on, to term, it look like I play with the word, but actually they have different meaning. Functional food versus food functions. Well, functional food, I think you know it quite well. Within this about summer school class or during your studies, it's actually the food that offer health benefits beyond their nutritional values, in additional to nutrient-rich ingredients, and this also includes food that could fortify with some vitamin, mineral, probiotics, or fiber or prebiotics. Functional food, so they have property, functional property regarding to their own property that they have. They might have some other components originally, but that may give you just like energy or some nutritional values. But in terms of function here, most of the time we claim for health functions. So in some country may say like functional food is like a healthy food or health food that have a function toward reduce the risk of some disease or anti-aging, anti-cancer, or anti-microbial or antioxidants that maintains the life system to be strong or perfect. But I like to introduce to you to this one. I think for food technologies, I think this is quite interesting and challenge. If you can create food functions, food that exhibit chemicals or physical functions for stability, healthy or safety purpose, like to deliver something to the target cells or target site in your body, or to control release. That means we can design the food system that can release particular ingredients or active ingredient or bioactive ingredient in particular point of times or distance or target cell. Solubility is help to dissolve some of the ingredient that cannot dissolve in solvents like water. For example, curcumin, I think you know this quite well, is actually dissolved in oil rather in the water. So the rate of absorptions curcumin for our body is very limited. We need it to be absorbed in water. So if there is kind of the ingredient that could make solubilities of curcumin better in water, that is a function of that ingredient that else make the important bioactive compound could be absorbed easily in our system. So we create the food function for that ingredient, but how? By the processing or by the chemical modifications or physical modification. Emulsion, engagement, encapsulation, antimicrobial, antioxidant. This we can also create to make that ingredients functions have this function to stabilize or deliver or control release or protects some bioactive compounds that will be delivered to the system. Because I think the trend now is inside out. You have to look after your inside the body quite well to be strong, to be able to, stay young or stay fit or reduce the risk of the NCD. So food function could do that. Therefore, there may be important, concept, rather than make the functional food, because functional food also needs some stabilization process and ingredient to make it stay. Otherwise, it doesn't have any activity, that benefit to you. Okay, so what is the trends of food in the new industry evaluations? Well, of course, now people more easy to access to everything, every information's about in every corner of the world. So they need something that personalized. Well, yourself, you need a kind like a tailor, products or even the environments or even costume or everything. So now all this business is oriented to make it something special for you, tailor-made, personalized food, local to global. Now it's become in the trend, local ingredients, local food that bring to the global fashions or global concept. Well, health promoted products that associate with personal biodata. I think you heard about the genomics or the genes that now they try to get to know the genes data, how you body look like from in the genes concept. For example, you have the genes of obesity or diabetes. So that means you have to avoid the food that induce that kind of NCD in your lifetime, to be able to live healthy and then prolong. I think you heard about these celebrities, the superstar Angelina Jolie, that she actually doesn't have any breast cancer, but she went to this doctor and then go through her genes biodata and then found that she have the trace of a gene that could induce breast cancer. Then she decided to cut her breast. So to prevent that, not to have that breast cancer. That's also from the genes investigation or survey as well. So if we know the genes profiles of our body, then we can be able to design special food for us. Well, then it comes to the personalized food and now I think there is more business, especially in America and Europe, that are, looking for this. And next one is things that need to be convenient and have a service innovations, including the new kind of packaging, new materials, eco-friendly, sustainability, and grains, and how to consume. Else of like delivery and the way to consume more convenience for the rush hour consumers and people more working or work at home to be kind of like easy and then convenient for them to consume the food. Environmental care, I think now there's more impact about that. So environmental care create a new source of raw materials to replace animal proteins. I think you heard about the plant-based protein or alternative proteins. Well, here's an example of local to global. Okay, Thailand is famous in Tom Yum. And press is actually, from, I think it's Japanese. Gurico is Japanese. So with this flavor, so it's bring like local touch to the global market, because local touch, there are more people, more market, more people favor it. So of course, in the business world, if we can maximize that to the market, then of course they would gain the profit. And microbiome, okay, this is the subject of the microorganisms that would influence our body in many ways. It actually live in from nose, mouth until the skin. Actually, on your face, there one of my friends research at Chula, she investigates the populations of microorganisms on the face. And then she found more than 100 species on the face. And then there is good one that could, if you have some good one on your face, so you have a low risk of having pimples or dark skin or unbright skin. So she isolate the good one and then incorporate it into the skincare and then use that for serum or anything to help. So this is the benefit of the microorganism. But how do we know what is the good one and then which one that already in our system? So we have to go to this subject, what we call like microbiome, which is the world of the good microorganism. Yeah. This is I like this one. I like this packaging. This is example of like convenience and something new, innovation as we see, and then can solve the pain point of consumer. If you like to eat biscuit or chips, I think there is one brand of the chips, potato chips, that's similar package like this, but it's open from the top. So when you, when it's still full, it's good because it's on the top, right? But when it's nearly finished, you have to put whole your into the till to get it, or maybe tip it over to get the chip. And sometimes it's come out all of them. So it's kind of like mass not convenience. But this one, the way that it open from nearly the bottom part. So when you take one out, the one on the top drop down, right? So you get one by one easily. And when it's nearly empty, well, easy for you because it's shallow already, so you can get the one in the bottom part as well. So, so this is innovation. So to solve the pain point of the user. So, that's why a trend like package and then delivering system like or the deliver application that you can do more just order food, but you can also maybe design and create it as well. And this is another convenience package that could cook your eggs in the package by adding some heating system for cooking, or even the package that help you to pour the drink easily. And more trends of the environmental care, which is plant-based. So more plant-based milk come to the market, like oat drinks or almonds, or even soya drink for us in Asia. I think you're familiar with that. And this one's plant-based meat, I think a few years ago, is very popular, very kind of like make excitement or eyes open for this kind of product, because it's just look like a real meat. But there are some drawbacks of this that we need to put a lot of additives, food additives, to be able to maintain the structure. So there is some research that actually this kind of plant-based meats, there is more processed than the original animal products, which it maybe lead to some of negative impressions of the consumers. And the price is expensive now, but I think now they reduce a bit, but it's still some expensive compared to the original meat material that we have nowadays. Okay. So I like to give you the overview of what is the reasons that lead us to develop or create functional food. First, of course, is about the fact is about non-communicable disease or NCD, that it affect a lot silently. We didn't notice because the symptom or the occurrence of the disease doesn't show up until certain time. So you still live with it, but it slowly, occur when you know well, the incidence of the disease inside your cell is maybe too late already. And it's actually accumulate according to, well, your habit, your lifestyles, the food that you eat. And well, the highest percentage of people die because of NCD is come from heart disease, well, cardiovascular disease. And this year, especially, well, after COVID, that we are afraid of the vaccine, right? I don't know whether it's a part of the vaccine or not, but people that I close with in Thailand, they are passed away because of, well, heart disease in the sudden time. I'm not sure it's related to the food that they eat or not, but it's very quick. At least I heard about maybe 4 or 5 my close relatives and close friends. And then 2 of my friends had to bypass. They are same age with me, so we still uh, early 50, but have to do the balloons and bypass the, well, cardiovascular already up to last 2 weeks. So quite surprised me on that. So that's mean, well, you have to keep your eyes on what you eat, especially the well, fast food and unhealthy well, oil. So we have to, well, watch that carefully as well. The second one is cancer and well, respiratory disease and then diabetes. So this is well, showing that is quite a significant impacts on that. And then the, well, the reason of that is well, okay, tobaccos or physical inactivities or alcohol or air pollution. Especially I think in Asia we have a problem with the air pollutions. But unhealthy diet come to, well, the list that we have to pay attention on. That is a kind of risk factors for unhealthy diet that could create a lot of impact for the NCDs. And when we're looking for the Asians, in especially, well, BB is mean high fat diets, and then P-type is more like a plant-based diet that we assume that is more lean than the high fat diets. In actually in Southeast Asia, well, we have a lot of a variety of the raw material in plant-based. But this is just want to show you in Bangkok. The yellow one is the high fat. The trend of baby or children in Bangkok now toward the high fat diets. That means trend of unhealthy food or the, well, dietary habits is shift from plant-based to unhealthy one. So that is the risk or the crisis that are waiting for you already in the near future. So that's why potential or opportunity of functional food to be able to make money or, well, have a position in the market is not that difficult. So we have a room to play around. We have the space, well, to create functional food. So it could be a nice business for, well, someone in the room to, well, gain that into the futures. And the world eating habit is changed as well after COVID-19. And then we found that many countries, this one is the research in Arab country that have found that pregnant women fall short to have the food that fortify or fulfill the pregnancy duration. That means the baby that would come up maybe lack of some important well, nutrients that would help them to develop their mental or their body or even the brains when they, well, get birth. So this is another target, well, pregnancy women to keep the new generation of the world populations healthy and smart. Of course, we need someone to maintain our growth to be in a good side. So that's why, well, this is the threat that eating habit has changed. How could we use the threat to be the opportunity to create functional food or business in this area? And aging society. So another group of people that increasing each year because we have the reduced numbers of the newborns. And largest increase is projected to occur in Eastern and Southeastern Asia. So especially in Thailand, I think now we already in aging society. We think we have more than we would reach 20% of the population soon. By next few years. Therefore, this is another opportunity that the global number of the older peoples would be increased quite sharp actually toward 2050. So there are some study on aging people in Asia that what kind of nutrition or healthy that diet or what environment they would need to stay as the healthy aging in Asia. Well, there are some study on healthy aging like higher livelihood by greater improvements of healthy dietaries or have the diversity of the dietaries and disability, any kind of food that lower the risk of disabilities that could come from kind of like a cardiovascular disease or brains damage, dementia or something like that. So depression now become one of the big problems in the societies because stress and the competitives between among communities and business, especially when you are a student. You have kind of like a different stress as well besides working. And dementia, these are also affected for the elderly. So that's why if you like to create or develop something, so if you take this in your considerations, then it's an opportunity for innovation in nutrition and healthcare for these people. I'd like to introduce you some of the food that may be good for the elderly or maybe the trends or opportunity for create the functional food for the elderly. Usually there are three groups of elderly. Elderly that's still social. So they go meet their friends and do some social activities with their tips and friends. The one that stay at home but still mobilize, have a mobility, be able to walk or go to the small market around or supermarket around their house, but they are the one that stay on bed. Therefore, these three groups need different kind of food or experience that they would gain for their personalized health or lifestyle. So when you think about the food that you're going to make for this, you have to consider what is your customer persona for aging societies in overall, or the one that stay in bed, cannot do anything, needs someone to be fit to them, or stay at home that be able to cook by themselves, or very social. So this one may be just like a normal people. So body system change with aging, as we know. Physical, lifestyles, diseases, malnutrition. This is the problems that we encounter for when you're getting old. So the food for this elderly group need to be clean and healthy food. You need to supplement vitamins and minerals, because their body needs those things to enhance their body activity. Less salt, less sugar, less fat intakes, because the metabolism of the body is like slow down, cannot accommodate excess of this kind of salt, sugar, or fat anymore. Protein adequate. They need muscle to be able to walk, lift things, or mobilized to, well, somewhere. Texture modification because the oral system had changed. So that's quite special for the elderly. And then there's some problems that age consumer concern. For example, mental sharpness, because well, dementia or well, Alzheimer's, this is the most affected. Bone health and strength, any food that can supplement things to support the strength of bones, cancer, heart health, vision or eye problems. So that should be things that you should take in account when you want to do functional food for, well, consumer concern. But another layer, when I opened my slide in the beginning, when I asked you to think about food function, if you can stabilize some of the active ingredients into the food by create another ingredient that make function of that stabilized by this well, solubilities or well, deliver or encapsulation to make sure that active ingredient go to the target or absorb into the system of the elderly consumer, well, at fast or at much, well, as maximum as they can or as the easy way. So that would ensure that would obtain that functional benefits. So functional food and food function should go together. You shouldn't ignore that. what kind of food that they're eating at the moment. For example, roast beef with carrot and some potato, right? But actually, it's very soft. They can, just swallow without chewing. Or sausage with pumpkin, peas, or potato. So that help them to maintain their memory and then enjoy the food. So if you can, create this kind of product with some particular technology, that is something that we can also help to maintain the shape, look strong outside, but actually very soft inside. So there's a way to do that as well. Ah, okay, I cannot change the slide. Okay, yeah. Yeah, there are always some technical effects. Okay, the next part, I like to go through some examples of the functional ingredients that now popular or in trends that you can use it right now, or you can investigate or do the research. So it's a concept of how we combat the NCDs, how we reduce the risk of the non-communicable disease. That's include what we have like plant extracts that, as you know, that there are those plant extracts. They're high in bioactive compound like phenolic compounds or even the omega-3 fatty acid or phytosterol. And the second one that I like to introduce to you is alternative proteins. Well, we have bioactive peptides, plant-based proteins, insect protein, or culture meat, where they would like to reduce the classical livestock farming that may have more impact on the environment. And the last one is gut-brain axis. This is coming important because it involved in probiotic, prebiotic, and now there are postbiotic. Anyone know about postbiotic? Have you come across this word? Prebiotic is usually more like fibers or oligosaccharides that have been proved to be the food of the probiotic. Probiotic is living things, is microorganisms that do good for you. Usually you found them in the dairy products like fermented milk, cheese, or yogurt, or kefir, for examples, or I don't, or kimchi, or some fermented vegetables. Postbiotics is the substance or the compound that produced by the probiotics, but the probiotic already gone. So only left the good things that produce from themselves into the food systems. Because food involved in the hot process, pasteurization or sterilization or drying, or the process that may be harm to like or mixing or emulsion or things like that, that may be cause the harms to the probiotic, and then injure and then they're dead and left the good thing for us. So that's what we call probiotic, and now it's coming popular now. Many kind of functional food into that area, but it's still new. Okay, the next slide. Okay, so this is examples of the source of the plants extracts that could have effects on different things like therapeutic effects or adverse effects if you eat it too much, or if it's not purified, or it's too purified, also have some effect, especially in the liver or lung or cardiovascular, or they have some cytotoxicity or cardiac toxicity. That's why when we would like to develop functional food or anything that you like to claim for this health function, you have to go through the clinical trial or the test on the animal, test on the toxicity, looking at the efficacy, looking at the effect dose, because we would like to claim that it's be able to reduce that certain risk of that disease, but it have to be safe as well. So it's a must that all these claims you have to go through clinical studies. Is very important. So there are some study. I think this one is about they try to enhance omega-3 into burgers, and then to make the stabilize of omega-3, but they're using also the raspberry extract as well, and then found that it's work. So this is the research, but once it's able to in that particular burger, but when it come into the body, does it work? That is delivered to your body. That means you have to prove and then have a second step of the experiment. Well, just show you example. This one they make a kind like a reshaped food, well, to be able to reform, re-engineer food with phytosterol and lecithins to make a kind like fabrications gel, what they call oleo gels. Well, this, of course, if you can make them together as the emulsifier system, you can create any kind of shape of food products with these two. So this is how the research on the process, on how this can combine as the uniform emulsifiers and do the 3D printing to re-engineer a particular food. Now, before when we heard the news that there is a fake eggs or fake meat or something, we kind of like have the negative impression, right? Because it's fake. But now we do the fake one for good sakes of health because we re-engineer all the good nutrients, all the ingredient that's benefit for health to us. So you see, the world is not stable. Some day is bad, but in another day is good. So how you turn the crisis to opportunity, that is the word that I like to emphasize, because sometimes who never know that those would make an important impact to the world and then to the societies. Well, next one is bio active peptides, and actually it's quite important because it could have benefit toward all the system of the body, from the veins, from the the second one I think is it's the antioxidants activity in terms of like all these routing of hormones and anti-aging and also immunities system of us, and the digestive system, which is the most important thing because you need to digest this kind of food to obtain the active ingredients to be able to deliver to different parts of the bodies. And proteins, beside the peptide, they're also the source of proteins, either from animal or non-animal or from the insects. But the factor that create the popularity about trends of the proteins is because of the environment. That we would like to reduce the lands, harvesting and the pollutions, water uses, and especially in terms of energy, supply that go to the livestock management, farming, or those associated with the heavy animal farming. So environmentalists is come to the main issue for that. That's why we need to find alternative source of proteins and fat from the animal proteins. Create a lot of problems to the health risk, especially cardiovascular and ethicals. Well, some of the farm management doesn't fall into the safeties for animal or torture them. So that's why more like ethical issue that we felt bad for that. So that's why alternative proteins that safe, clean, and doesn't disturb the environment, good to the health, and no problems with the animal torture would become popular in this trend of healthy food. So protein as the important source, of course, we need protein to grow up, to maintain the cells, to make the brains going. Actually, protein is more important than carbohydrate. Too much carbohydrate give you gain weight, and it's not because of the fat, it's actually because of the bad carbohydrates. So what is the source of proteins from insect, plant-based, algae? I think maybe people looking into the oceans and then found many algae that are good source of proteins, lab-grown meat or 3D food printing that you can re-engineer the food product by using the 3D printings. So this is want to show you that there's some statistic for this insect proteins. It's actually by weight it's actually have more protein than animal proteins, big animal like cow or chicken. And then there are available in wide range of insects like silkworm or cricket. And for Asia, I think we have opportunity for having a farms of the insect protein because it's from the hot climate regions that can grow this insect quite well and fast. They're very short life. I think about a month or something you can, or less than you can harvest them already. And this is the technology for alternative meat products, like you make plant-based by mix plant-based with many kind of food additive to form a gel network, to form a uniform structure network, or lab-grown meat or culture meat. This is now coming popular as well, but still expensive. Another one is 3D printing. It's good in a way that we can design, but the problem is low capacity. So it can make, individually one by one. It's not fast enough to produce 1,000 pieces in one time or more than that to feed the whole world populations. So there's still some gap of the technology to be able to produce in a mass production. So that's why this kind of functional food or alternative meat product is kind of niche market and it's still expensive. This is how they make the culture meat by take some culture from the animal and then make the stem cells and grow the serum, and then one they form kind of like the muscle or line, and then become muscle tissue or big enough, then they put into food as a burger or different food. Culture meat, I think it's accepted in Singapore now. I know that in Singapore there is a startup to make chicken by lab-grown chicken, and then it's Singapore FDA is the first country that approved that. So if you go to Singapore and then have chicken rice, maybe they come from the lab-grown chicken. If it's too expensive, significantly, so you can guess that maybe come from the lab-grown, but it's not easy to find. I think there is kind of like a special restaurant or a shop from that. Here, I want you to notice some things in this slide that, okay, there is a survey in Spain that, they actually classify food into different category. I think, students who come from Europe may familiar with this, NOVA classifications. So they classify unprocessed food and processed food. So there's some belief that processed food is not good, but for me, I'm quite object. I'm not 100% to say that processed food is not good, because sometimes you would like to save the food waste. Because if you don't process it, for example, drying or canning or sterilization, you cannot keep food for long, right? So you will waste the food, and then we have problem of food security and unavailable amount of food for people who need to get access to food in faraway regions, or need to keep it for a certain period of time for them to be able to use that. So they try to show that for plant-based, a lot of them actually fall into processed food, because adding a food additives to make their form, the structure, and then is classified as group 4, which is not good, highly processed. But original, like raw material, like chicken or meat or plant that's unprocessed, to develop as plant-based food is still small amount, because it's difficult now to make them close to plant-based, close to the animal-based in terms of property, taste, and texture. We still have a room of this research and investigate. So if you can make original plant-based protein close to the real meat without adding additives, close to zero or small amount of additives, you would break through, and then you would have a good business, and then providing the cost of the processing is low as well, then would help for the new breakthrough of plant-based animal product, sorry, plant-based proteins products. Yeah, this is also kind of like a perception of people who have a perception of plant-based now. Now it's shift. Before plant-based is good, and because of the find out that is processed food, more food additives. So it's shift to the positive impression of go back to animal proteins. And I think cricket would come, and this would come as well, culture meat as the alternative proteins. And this is the examples of the insect proteins. That's them. I think there's many groups of that from the sprouts. Well, as I mentioned, like from cricket, or from the silkworm. In Thai, I think we produce a lot of silkworms that contains high amino acids profiles, good source of fats, and others important ingredients. Especially Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos. I think it's a way that it's the area where they produce a lot of insect proteins. But we have to be careful all these heavy metals like cadmium and lead and mercury that could contaminate this protein during the farming. Well, this one is another concept of proteins trends in Asia. I think majority of people prefer plant-based meat over the culture meat and insect quality. So often food products would come with the pre and probiotic in the same times for functional food. And there is some research that your tempeh is very good. Tempeh, cheese, or milk kefir, they are found that there is the stress reduce and anti-inflammatory effect on the body. So when you stress, go and eat tempeh. Either fry or, stir fry or in other way of cooking. Because it can lower the serum cortisol. Cortisol is the hormone that induces stress. Yeah. And mRNA expression of this compound that induce the stress as well. My, tempeh also my favorites as well. Every time that I come to Indonesia, I always buy the raw one, the one that's not yet fermented, but they inject culture into the tempeh and then back to Thailand. By the time few days in Thailand, you would be able to eat it fresh. Next one is yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut. So from the research, it's found that it can decrease inflammation within the body. So then, not to harm one yogurt cup a day, but you have to see how many sugar in it. You need to have the natural one or Greek yogurt, which is better for you. So market trend, yes, you have opportunities. Well, they predicted up to 2028 that increasing in dietary supplements. The market in Asia, I think, is quite strong, very competitive, and then many products come out every day. If you see, I don't know, Shopee or any website of selling, there would be at least 10 products there in the dietary supplement, but you have to careful on the safetyness because we don't know how the ingredients has been certified or how it's been researched to be safe. So when you develop the functional food, you need to make sure the products safe and have some evidence of the research to support that it be able to deliver that functional properties to the food. I like to give you an example of my real research. And actually, I licensed to the startup already this one for them to develop further of their entrepreneurial business. We make this, we call probiotic nata jelly from pineapple juice. I think everyone know about pineapple. And we use the local pineapple that's substandard. So that means they don't in a good outside look, but they still contain lots of juice. And we make nata. It's actually a fermentation process. The coconut nata the cocoa actually is original from that. But when it's become pineapple juice, is I think they call nata de paña or something, and Spanish. And then we incorporate probiotics through the fermentation process as well. So there are two microorganisms, the one with the fermentation to make nata, and the second one, the probiotics to create good compounds that good for your bodies. This is the short goodness of pineapples. Well, it's actually the fruit with the high nutritional values already, rich in vitamin A, B, C, as well as minerals like calcium, phosphorus, and ions. Have antioxidant properties. You have bromelain enzymes. Some of the company very clever just extract the bromelain from the pineapple and sell very expensive, and that help in the digestive systems. And it's a good way that we can increase the value of cheap pineapple to the health product alternative. Nata is a product from fermentations of coconut juice originally, and then we can use the enzymes, the microorganisms that can produce a gel. Actually, nata is a gel-like. It's actually dietary fibers, we call bacterial cellulose. It's actually a cellulose that produce. So we use these microorganisms is actually called Acetobacter xylinum to produce this bacterial cellulose. Well, the yellow one that you see is yellow because it's from pineapple juice, but the SEM photos scanning electron microscope is expand the surface of the gel. It's actually fiber that's matrix to each other into very dense structure. That why when you see from your naked eye, you couldn't see how rough, but actually you see the smoothness of the gel, right? And it's actually work well to encap. We're using it as the encapsulation agent naturally, because when this kind of gel is formed, it's also takes some good things in the pineapple juice into itself as well. So it's encap those vitamins or antioxidants compound into its body as well. And it has been proved because we also do the analysis between the gels and the water, the juice. And we optimize this, of course, the condition of fermentation. And this is show that because this microorganism like to have oxygen, so they need a surface area that large to be able to produce more productivity of the bacterial cellulose. And we co-fermented with the probiotics in the certain ways. And the Salinum bacteria Acetobacter make the gel. The probiotic produce the good compound, for example, short chain fatty acid or antioxidants. And you see here, I'm quite surprised, because if you look at the control, the bioactivity from the antioxidant, which is the first top three, like total phenolic compounds or activity through the DPPH or FRAP, it's like 2-digit number. But once fermented, all the sample is become 3 digits. So it's increased from the raw pineapple juice to the fermented pineapple juice more than 6 times. So the TPC increased a lot because from the microorganism and also from the probiotic as well. So we can enhance the functional properties of the products by processing. Fermentation is one of the process that maybe if you like to produce this kind of product, maybe think about fermentation process, which is some of them are traditional product that we never know because we never check it, but we consume it every day. So if you like to make use of that, then yes, why not optimize the fermentation process of that particular local products to enhance its functional properties. This is the gel-like bacterial cellulose that we use in our products. So that's we make in the factory, in our pilot plants in Chulalongkorn University to do the market test. But before that, to do the market test, we have to do the clinical trial first. So this is the specifications of the product that we obtained. So if you see metabolites, there are more than 61 metabolites that found, and including some of compound that, for example, like tryptophan, which is the precursor of melatonin, because you get tryptophan, serotonin, and then change to melatonin in your body, and then make you good mood and good sleep. Chlorogenic acid, you know that highly antioxidant, good for the health, the heart health. Choline and amino like GABA amino butyric acid, gamma amino and butyric acid, which is good for the brain. So the next step, what we work with the Konkan's University, especially under the Faculty of Medicine to do this clinical trial with the volunteer. And we asked them to drink just one shot a day for 8 weeks, every day for 8 weeks. And when we check their blood, so they have to come to us, every appointment that we make to them. So we found that in the blood of the consumer that consume our products, there is no toxic compound found in the blood, and affected on increasing of HDL and lowering the LDLs, the cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and found that there is some change of cortisols in the blood test lower than the one that have product and the placebo. So the one that have our products have the lower cortisol than the placebo, and then recognition test was improved, and we found serotonin's level has increased in the test sample to placebo. So that means product is good for depressing, antidepressing, relaxations, bring the good mood, and then reduce the cholesterol. So this is the evidence that we can use to claim that our product have functional properties. Then the next step is to launch the product and then apply for the FDA claiming on that. So that come to the end of my talk that look like is concludes from not related to the content, but actually I try to capture the key message that if you want to develop functional food or food functions, you look at your local resources first, and then that have a lot of biodiversities. But if you pick that, you need the precise identifications of that certain ingredients, and you have to do intensive research before you develop the product. It's not like what today you found something and then develop it in next 2 months, you got it. No, it doesn't last long. You have a weak evidence. It needs years and years of research when you would come out to the strong product that have functional properties. How you confirm the bioactivity by lab tests like in vitro or in vivo actually is a must now. Go through the animal trial and the human the volunteer or clinical trial in humans. And you need to apply the FDA regulation. If you aim that, okay, I found these ingredients, I want to develop functional food, you have to go to the FDA regulation first before you do the research. What is the information that they need for be able to take this to be registered? If you don't study that and then you do your own at the end when you want to license to someone or you want to spin off to make your own business or startup, but you doesn't have information that FDA need, then you have to go back to the beginning, zero, or the research that you have done perhaps is useless. So if you aim to to have that goal, make a functional food, you need to go to FDA regulation first. Take that into account from day one, then do the research. And once you have prototype, you have the stabilize of the condition of process it or making it or produce it. So it's up to what we call TRL6, and that would help you to go to commercializations easy when you want to transfer to industry or license out or even do your own products. Okay, so that's end of my talk. Then allow you to have time with me at least 15 minutes or more. I think if you like to go to a little bit late in your lunch. So I'm very happy to share my experience or anything that we can discuss here. Okay, floor is open.
Yeah, please, anyone has a question, just raise your hand. And for the online participant, if you have question, you can also raise your hand. Okay, the first question maybe to you and the second one for you, please.
Okay, my name is Abu Huraira and I'm from Pakistan. So thank you, Dr. Chaleeda, for a very brief and interesting presentation. And I have some crucial critical questions. First of all, is that why don't we move to the organic foods rather than creating new foods with so many more chemicals, which have already caused us all of the health problems that you mentioned? And we already created those problems, and why with using those chemicals? So why don't we just move to the natural sources rather than creating a new problem and later on and finding it out and then fixing it again? And second question is related to lab grown meat. How can lab grown meat compete with organic meat even from the environmental aspect? I guess at a mass production level, it will also have its own environmental impacts. And then they will also be contaminated with maybe metals, like we see in other, for example, whey protein, they have contaminated with BPAs and then with metals like leads. So it will has its own outcome. So how do you address these two things?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good points. And actually, the questions that you asked is the controversial issue at the moment. Of course, if you can prove the organic food, okay, and it have that certain functionalities that we deserve to get, okay, reduce the risk of NCD, or you like to claim is for reduce diabetes or obesities. And if you can educate your consumers on the organic food, yes, I think there's a position or the market for that. But you have to make sure that because now I think consumer care about environmental issue a lot. Organically, animal, plant is okay. I don't think plants that has problems because, but animal raised organically into the farm, of course, you don't use the chemicals or antibiotics or drugs or something like that. But there's still waste. How you manage the waste and the intake of, when you do feeding, where is the corns or, or what seed or food for this animal, how you feed them, because there's still a lot of issue, supply chains on this. That's why people just feel that it's complicated to make this whole system holistic, zero waste. But now the trend is coming. So instead of making a shortcut to something else, adding something, and then provide consumer as the plant-based food for them in a short time, because that's the opportunity for the business. So that is the factor of political issue, business issue that related to that. And later on, people find out, is more unhealthy, rather than we go to the original. And then the trend, I think, is now go to original now, to the organic material. But we have to have a proof that it's really organic, or the supply chain is green, and then you have to have a zero waste management as well as functionality claim. The second question you asked me about the lab grown, right? Okay. Yes. Before it's, I think last few years, it's very state of art news, and then popular on this one. Even some country turns the farm to the place for making the lab grown process. But they find out that there might be pro more than con more than pro. But because people have creativities, and they try to develop a new technology to overcome this, I think it's still we still have lab grown meat, but there would be the way that would solve the problems that you said. Because I think humans always, thinking and develop new things into the front. And of course, for example, like vaccine, we would like to kill or to solve the problems in short time. So that's why they develop the new thing without thinking of the consequence. Then we found the consequence when they have impact on heart disease, actually. Now I think there are more technology developments to overcome that. But yes, I do agree with you, and then I think you have a good point. So that means we have to, when you want to develop a new product, it doesn't mean it need to be really new all the times. You can improve the existing system to better than before, save costs, save labels, and then energy. That would be the answer instead of creating the new completely products or technology. Okay, I hope I respond to you all the issue.
Yes, it was a complete answer, and yeah, thank you so much for the answer.
Yeah. Thank you. And for the second question, please.
Uh, here. Which one? Okay. Okay.
Hello, Professor. I am Mahmoud from Bangladesh, and I'm really thanks to you for sharing your expertise with us. So my questions kind of related or similar with brother Abu Huraira. That is called like, what are the long-term health outcomes associated with relying on processed functional food and compared to natural foods? And another one is, in your view, how can individuals balance processed functional foods and natural foods to maintain to healthy diet?
Well, you mean how we balance it, right?
Yeah, balance.
Between the processed functional food and naturally,
Yeah.
right? I don't think we can balance as long as they are business oriented. Because in the business world, they would like to use the gap that consumers need something short, convenient, instant, and but they don't realize what is the fact behind. Until social media and everything's come up, and then okay, they understand and then change when the research come up. So if we can educate, I think education is important, especially you who have the knowledge. If we can educate the consumers on these naturals grown raw materials, but it have to be maybe organic or safe by chemical safe. I think there is another category that where we, of course, we still use some organic matters or some fertilizer, but it's harvest in the safe stage and then at least process. So that give you another challenging that how you're going to create the food preservation methods or food processing that disturb the nutritional values or the goodness of that raw materials as much as you can, instead of provide intensive heat processing or adding some chemical ingredients to preserve the shelf life of the food. Or we promote, so that's another way challenge. Or we promote the way of logistic, to be deliver foods as fresh in the short time, so it doesn't go spoil or become a waste because of the times factors. So many alternatives, but I think it's difficult to balance. Either we create the educational platforms or the new way that we preserve food as fresh without using many steps of processing method or food additives.
So, Professor, another question is like, what would be your suggestion to like risk management small scale farmers face and when entering the functional foods market, and what risk management strategies can they employ to mitigate this risk? So like
Risk of what?
risk
How to manage
how to manage, yeah.
the functional food to the market.
To how to manage large small scale farmers when entering the functional foods on market.
Well, how to make functional food to the market, right?
Yeah.
If I understand your questions right, of course, to make it to the market, there is some certain regulation for food functional food or novel foods. So you have to take that regulation into account and then do the research to obtain the informations that you would need to register that food to the FDA authorities first. And then once you got the approved, then you can use that, the content of functionality as the advertise for the people to buy your product. For example, the product that I work with this startup, we are the scientific team who do the research for them. So when we got the approved result, we published. And then so it's become everyone in the world know that okay, this product have these benefits. Clinically, we prove on the human, we prove on the animal. So he can use for advertise when he do the marketing business side. So he bombard a lot of money in the marketing, advertising about this. And then we have a real evidence to make people trust the products, then be able to sell plus the FDA approved. So the most important is the confidence of your market on your products, how you make the market confidence on that. So make you easy to penetrate to the market.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, I think we still have one question. The last question, please.
Okay, so thank you for the insightful presentation. So my name is Alida from Indonesia. I would like to ask two questions. So the first one is, so nowadays there are many varieties of diet and some of them require the practitioners to avoid eating several products such as maybe keto diet. They focus on not eating sugar and all of that. And then also there are vegan diets, Mediterranean diets, and food combining diets. And so actually my friends, both of them are obese and implemented different diets. And both of them showed a good result and also a positive testimonials. So basically, how can we choose the best diets or eating lifestyle that's suited best for our body conditions? That's the first questions. And then the second one, so regarding your pineapple, the fermented pineapple juice, so we know that each microbes has different nutrient needs to grow. So how can you balance the growth of Acetobacter and probiotics when you make this fermented pineapple juice? Because this is actually similar to Scooby in kombucha.
Yes.
Yeah. But sometimes when the temperature drops, the yeast become more abundant than the bacteria.
Yeah.
So how can you balance?
Yeah, that's right. I answered the second question first. It's difficult to balance. You do have to do the experiments, which couple the bacteria and the probiotic that go along to each other. They might synergistic or they might kill each other. And of course, the conditions, temperatures and pH and the time of fermentation also important as well. Also, you have to find a way to prevent contamination too. So this, what I show in one or two slides is from, few year research to optimize the process. It's not a statement or a guideline to say, okay, you have to do this and this because different bacteria and different probiotics, they are totally different. So you have to find a pair that could work to each other. But where to find, where to start? Of course, you have to go to publications in the journal. There would be a co-fermentation of these, well, bacteria or tentative probiotics of the future. So difficult to balance, but you need to do experiment, try and error on that. But you need to have starting points about sort of formations, look in the publications. Well, the first questions is interesting. I do believe that each person, you have different well system in your body. You may be good for this food, but that person may be not good for that food. For me, I try many program, keto or mixed or no carb or high proteins or things like that on my weight control as well. And I just found this program, one program that suit me, but the rest doesn't make my weight reduce and maybe difficult to apply in the life activities as well. So I use what we call fast metabolism. So I try to build up or increase the rate of metabolism to be able to use the energy from fat source in my body, but I still maintain some carbohydrate to keep some glucose to the brain for function. So this is actually alternate a kind like alternative. For example, in a week, you will allow to eat carbohydrate in first 2 days and then high protein and then high fat in toward the end of the week. But you eat every 3 hours or something. So different person have different regimes of the body to adjust. How do we know? Actually, the easiest answer is go to your gene check, but it's expensive. If you go to the genomes checking of your gene system of the body, it would tell you exactly what kind of people you like. Well, high carbohydrate intake or fat is good for you. If you high fat intake, that means you can do keto. Some people cannot do keto and then lose weight. But there are many theory about that. So we have to notice, observe yourself, what is, good for you to be able to lower the weight by control your diet. But for me, I think the simple principle is balance. So you not over carbohydrate or protein in one meal. You have to balance it and exercise and good sleep. If you have a short sleep, less than 5 hours a day, you tend to gain weight because the stress hormones, cortisol, is actually asks your body to accumulate fat to be able to survive because you are stressed. So that's the body's natural system. So balance your diet, well, exercise, and then have enough sleep. Try to not to stress. Stress actually is a silent factor to make you gain weight. Yeah, that's my personal concept of maintains the weight. But discipline, I think, is the most important because you tend to be in illusion or get the when you see the night food appetite or something like that, you tend to have the appetite for that, so you lost your discipline not to have sugar or salt or others desserts or junk food. Well, I guess we have enough information to share, and then thank you very much for everyone to listening today and then in the online as well. Sorry about the technical problems, but it do happen. I think we have a record. Yes, then you can come back and then see the recording at your own time later on. Okay, I'll back to the moderator. Thank you.
Or maybe we can give yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Chaleeda, for the very, very interesting topics as well as the interactive discussions. So please allow me to briefly summarize our session today. First, we have learned that functional food is on high demand high and still increasing demand recently, especially the personalized one, such as the functional food to combat the NCD, the non-communicable disease. And also functional food also need food functions to ensure that it can be absorbed and thus beneficial for our bodies, so that the functional food and food functions should go together. And some example of nutrition innovation concepts to combat the NCD, including plant extracts, alternative proteins such as insect protein and plant-based protein, also gut-brain axis, including pre, pro, and postbiotics. Also, Dr. Chaleeda gives us example of the product that is developed in her lab. That is the probiotic nata jelly from pineapple juice, which from the clinical study, the product shows functional properties to our body. Also, during discussion session, we also discuss why the consideration of using the organic source in compared to the commercially produced functional food. And also we discussed that how do we balance the natural or less processed food with the commercially functional food. And also there's some question regarding how to choose the best diet that suits our body, and one technical question regarding how to create balanced nutrients during preparing the fermented food. So the recording of this session will also be available in case you would like to reopen and restudy the course. And I think that's all from me for as the moderator. Thank you very much, and I'll give back the time to the MC, please.
Okay, thank you so much to Dr. Chaleeda for the insightful information, and also Dr. Kurator Ayun, PhD, as moderator that had lead discussion. Okay, so we would like to express our appreciation and remembrance to Dr. Chaleeda because the topic the presented is very delightful knowledge and made us more interested in learning about food functionalization. So as we will give certificate of appreciation to Dr. Chaleeda, the certificate will be given symbolized by our moderator. Okay, so also we would like to give certificate appreciation to our moderator, Dr. Kurator Ayun, and the certificate will be given by Dr. Agung Putra Pamungkas as a chairman of this committee of 6 summer course. Okay, so as the second session for today has finished, now the time in Yogyakarta, Indonesia is 12 o'clock. So we are going to have a lunch break for the on-site participant. And for the online participant also can have a break time and either can stay or leave the Zoom meeting room. To Dr. Chaleeda, you all need to resume your activities again. And don't forget, all of you